can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
So let's do it live. Welcome everyone to the season 6 finale of the Bison Overtime Show, live on YouTube. I'm Grant Hubbard alongside Ethan Leibach. And Ethan, I think Bill O'Reilly and Bison fans are on the same wavelength after what we saw on Saturday afternoon inside the Fargo Dome.
Yeah, for the fans that were actually there. We'll get into the attendance issues and all that. Just a disappointing day to be a Bison, but we still love our team and we're looking forward to getting ready for some basketball.
We're not going to waste your time, as much as we don't want to do this. Let's play the highlights from the second round playoff game between North Dakota State and Illinois State inside the Fargo Dome. And, you know, Ethan, first play of the game, I thought this was going to be another dominating victory because Cole Payton back to pass. The nearest defender for Illinois State is somewhere back in normal.
Yeah, I think there's supposed to be a safety or something there. I mean, you might want to double team that guy. He's best receiver in the country by far.
That was his only catch the entire day.
Disappointing, to say the least.
And again, we thought this was going to be another great day as, you know, back to punt for Illinois State. Jackson Williams from his own 48 weaves through traffic, and he's going to score from 52 yards out. It's a 52-yard house call. It's 14-0 Bison. This is going to be a great day.
He's untouched. Nobody touched him on a punt return. And this is when you think, well, here we go again.
Well, here comes Illinois State. Tommy Rittenhouse back to throw. Going to find Eddie Casper here along the sideline. Great catch, great throw for 16 yards, the Illinois State 47.
That was unguardable. You can't complain about that. That was an elite throw.
But again, this is going to be easy. Tommy Rittenhouse back to throw. Pass is intercepted by Donovan Mullen, best linebacker in the country for
Yeah,
FCS.
and here we go. We're about to go up 3 scores, right?
Nope, Bison would punt. That's just the kind of way this game was. Rittenhouse on 3rd and 9 to Scotty Preston Jr., good tight end for 16 yards, the Illinois State 31.
Another really good throw. Staling at his back turn.
And then we'd see a lot of this the rest of the day. Victor Dawson up the middle, down the left sideline, and he's gone. 69-yard touchdown run. It's 14-7 Herd.
And dare I say, this is the one play I really do blame the defense. The rest of the day, nothing on them. This is just a misfit on the run, and he went all the way. And
then we got in trouble here. Barika Penn, who hadn't fumbled hardly all year, coughs the ball up here. Ty Niekamp, the defensive player of the year in the conference, comes up with the football.
Yeah, not the spot you want to fumble, and you're only up by 1 score. Just giving him life.
Again, I thought we'd be fine. Over the middle, tipped, intercepting Nathaniel Staling, and he could go all. I don't think 67 is going to get him all the way. It's 21-7 Bison. This game is over, right?
I would hope so. Defense doing everything they can. Staling's got those wheels, like
and that's
Paul
only interception number 2 on the day for Tommy Rittenhouse. There
more
would
to
be
come.
More. Tommy Rittenhouse over the middle. Daniel Sobowitz couldn't stop him in this game either for 17 yards at Illinois State 48.
Yeah, he's wide open. Good player.
Rittenhouse 4th and 2. Dylan Lord for a first down.
Barely gets it. The defense played well. I'm just going to keep saying it.
3rd down and 8. Rittenhouse back to throw here. Looks over the middle. That pass is caught. It's Lord again for a first down. Well, that's Luke Maylander, my fault. Now over the middle, Sobowitz touchdown, 21-14. North Dakota State as we head into the locker room.
Again, you still feel good about your chances here. You're up by a touchdown against a Valley team.
Again, Rittenhouse, we're going to be fine. Tipped, intercepted, Nathaniel Staling. 3rd interception on the year. This one did not go for 6, unlike his other 2. But again, momentum-changing play, right?
Yep, exactly.
Right?
Got to go score here.
Right? Wrong. Cole Payton gets sacked. This was a common theme of the second half.
Can't have it. Just protection breaking down all day. You have all the momentum, and you just can't take advantage of it.
Again, Illinois State being aggressive, going for it. Rittenhouse looking over the middle. Javon Charles with a first down. Another tight end making a reception.
Really good play. Really good throw.
Rittenhouse going to keep it himself on the play action. Rolls out. Is going to pick up a first down on 4th and 2.
Yeah, the guy's a gamer. That's all I'm going to say. He's a great player.
Again, defense bows up. 4th and 1. 4th down stop. Turnover on downs. Let's get a stop and a score. This game's over, right?
Yep. And the offense gets rolling. Let's go end this game right now.
And I thought they were going to do it. 3rd and 5. Carson Williams wide open. Almost dropped that pass, but does catch it. Gets near the 40-yard line. Okay, we're on our way here.
Finally rolling. Finally going to go end it here.
Problem is, Bison would punt, but Rittenhouse is intercepted by Anthony Chideme Alfaro, his first pick since the UND game, and he's going to get inside the 5-yard line. And again, they're going to put this game away, and it looks like they do on the next play.
Yeah, I don't even know how they lost this game rewatching these highlights. This is unbelievable.
Again, first and goal. Who am I kidding? Barika Penu, 4-yard touchdown. The Cheyenne Mustang rumbled into the end zone. It's 28-14. Game over, right?
Sideline erupted. This is when the momentum really felt like the Redbirds could not come back from this at all.
3rd and 3. Victor Dawson. Redbirds need 3. He gets 3.
And still, look at that clock. It's winding down.
Clock moves. Rittenhouse over the middle. Scotty Preston Jr. Nice throw here in the middle. Gets him inside the red zone.
For the picks he threw, he had a good day. I mean, he had made some really good throws.
Redbirds threaten. Goal line stand, though. Tommy Rittenhouse gets sacked. It's Toby Inene, who's probably been contacted by FBS teams. Turnover on downs.
6 minutes left. You get probably 1 first down, 2 minutes run off. This game's over.
3 and out.
1 first down is all you need. Well, here we go.
Get the ball back. Rittenhouse. He's going to complete this pass to Victor Dawson, kind of hanging over the middle. There he is. Makes Staling miss. Makes another man miss. Gets near the sideline. ACA rings him down.
But again, look at the clock.
This is a great throw.
Yes.
There's nothing. This is just a great pass and catch. Sobkowitz, 1 foot down. That's just amazing.
But then again, like, there's 2.5 minutes left. Like, I still felt like
this is where people are calling for Dan Larson's job. 3rd and 4. They should run it right. Nope, they fumble, and Cole Payton breaks his thumb on this play. He would not return. But again, great field position for Illinois State with 1:51 to go.
And you still feel good with this defense in the Bison.
Victor Dawson, 13 yards. And now sphincters are getting tight inside the Fargo Dome. 4th and goal. Possible ball game that's not completed. Rittenhouse on the scramble drill. Just heaves it, and it's caught by Sobkowitz, and we got a 1-point game.
Yeah, it's just not much. It's just a great play by Rittenhouse.
Spack said earlier in the week, we're going for 2, and he finds Scotty Preston wide open with 56 seconds to go.
Yeah, just shocker.
So Payton out of the game. Hayes is in, throws this one on 4th and 1 to save the season temporarily. It's Rajah Nelson, but that'll be the last great play of the day. 13 seconds ago, 4th down and 7. Nathan Hayes just has to heave it. It's incomplete, and that's how a 12-0 season ends for NDSU. They lose it 29-28. Just an unbelievable game. I never want to read these highlights again. You know, it's just
get rid of them.
them off.
Get out of here.
Off. I'm done with it. I mean, I just want to say this right now. If you're Illinois State, you should be hanging up this stat sheet in the office, frame it, and it should be behind Brock's back every time he does an interview from here on out. This was outstanding. What they did was incredible.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe the feeling, because in 2016 when they lost, I was 11 years old. I bawled my eyes out. First time I'd experienced a Bison loss in the playoffs. 2022 in Frisco, kind of felt like they were losing.
Whatever.
23 in Montana, it was like okay, whatever. We're not going to win in Frisco anyway. This team, 12-0. Obviously, we'll get into it. A little deceiving 12-0 record. Losing to a team that you just beat by 17 earlier in the year, and you probably should have lost by more than 1 point in this game. It's hard to put words together to describe.
You look at the team stats, Illinois State was the better team. If you throw up the statistics on the screen when you guys have a second, look at the stats. I mean, Illinois State was the better team. More first downs. They held the Bison to 59 rushing yards, 4.4 yards per carry, almost 500 total yards. They got to 422. They had more third downs, and they held the ball for 42 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the 5 interceptions, they were the better team the whole day.
Yeah, and I hope Grant Olson knows how good of a game he had, other than that one run from Victor Dawson, because if not for a pick six, if not for a couple of those turnovers, I mean, they had 2 goal line stands, and they had a pick six, and they still lost. It's unbelievable. I don't think Illinois State, other than that long run, had a good day on the ground either. They just, the field position game, and it goes back to the offense not being able to pick up first downs. If you have to punt, okay, but you got to get first downs to change field position, and they weren't able to do it. And 17 minutes is just unacceptable.
But they were methodical.
Yeah,
Illinois
they
State
were.
was methodical in their drives. The Bison could not string drives together. Illinois State, again, it was 4 yards here, 6 yards here, 15 yards here. They were very methodical. Rittenhouse was the gunslinger in the OK Corral. He slinged it all over the place. Again, as we see in the stat sheet here, he threw, let's see, what did he throw for? He threw 52 passes for 249 yards, 3 touchdowns, was sacked once in the 5 picks. And he had a pulled hamstring, as we found out later in the press conference from Coach Spack. So it's nothing short of amazing how they, again, I just tip my hat, you clap your hands for Illinois State because they deserved it. They were the better team. And it's just, that's all you can say about it. So I got in my car after the game, I'm just like, I guess I'm not all that mad because they got outplayed by a better team. They did.
I mean, better team. I mean, the Bison, let's face it, they probably win the game 7 out of 10 times.
They win it 9
but
out of 10 times. Looking under
Yeah,
this.
they just played bad. So the Bison still clearly are one of the best teams in the FCS this year. They just played terrible. So yes, but yeah, Illinois State deserves everything that they got. So 4 days removed, you know, obviously the night of the game, the day after you're a little heated, you don't want to talk. Now we can have a calm conversation about this. Either Cole Payton was slightly dinged up or the play calling just was unacceptable. Now I'm not going to throw shade at Dan Larson. Cole Payton didn't run the ball on a design run more than once or twice. He clearly was a little dinged up. So you might want to consider putting Nathan Hayes in at some point a little earlier. I don't know. That's just me. And then the offensive line, we got to this. I mean, the offensive line was outstanding from 2011 through about 2022.
Yeah.
23 a little bit. And we're not going to throw shade on Matt Entz, but the offensive line recruiting was much to be desired. So that's kind of been in effect these last 2 years. And last year they won the national championship of a product of seniors, leadership, and coaches.
Yep.
And Cam Miller was unbelievable. Cole Payton, as much as we love him, he was a first-year starter, so he's not going to be perfect. So, and it sucks for Colt because he stuck around for 4 years and he deserves to go out on top. And Logan Kopp and Bryce Lance, they had opportunities to leave for money and they didn't. And yeah, that's what I got. I feel bad for the seniors.
Yeah, I don't want to throw it on Dan Larson. I don't. The one thing it was the same running play. I guess that kind of surprised me a little bit because they ran that against Illinois State the first time and they got whatever they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
This time didn't work. I don't know if they just didn't trust the interior of the offensive line, which is kind of boggling to me because that's the strength of the offensive line is Fraley and Empey, and they didn't really run it behind them. Again, we dumped on Matt Entz for a couple years here because he ran the program into the ground. Turns out he didn't.
No.
Where he did, though, was on the offensive line. They
Yes.
whiffed on some offensive line recruits to the point where they had to go get Trent Fraley. Nothing against Trent Fraley. He's been outstanding. But they didn't play well against a front that, to be frank, they just load up the box and say you're not running the football. That's kind of how that shook out. Again, you have it written here. This is not Paul's personnel yet.
No, it's
not.
coming.
Look at the recruiting class.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk about, there's some late recruits that just came in. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but the guys that are coming in,
Oh, boy.
yeah. I think this will be the last time we're talking about a second-round playoff loss. I mean,
for sure.
So, again,
It's-
I'm only on the show for one more year,
Yeah.
but when you take the show over and it's yours, I don't think you're going to be talking about a second-round playoff loss. I'm telling you that right now. Again, Cole Payton, a one-year starter, exceeded my expectations. I thought he'd be good. I didn't think he'll probably finish second or third in the Payton voting.
Yep.
It's Brungard's to lose. Let's just be honest here. He'll be back next year too. So,
Yeah.
But shout out Cole Payton, outstanding year. I hate that was the way that Bryce Lance had to finish off such a great career. Cash got that photo of him post game, because he sent me his 32 photos for the article that I wrote for the Spectrum, and it's like you go through the photos and it's like, yeah, this one may not look the best, but that's the one I'm going with because of all the guys that were on that field in white and bawling tears. You expect Raja, you expect Cole. I didn't expect Bryce to come down off the field with his head down.
Yeah.
He's the last guy I expected to be like that.
Yeah.
But again, Kopp, lose the hair, by the way. Just lose it. It's okay. We're all going to be there at some point. And then Jackson Dudenhoff for sticking it out after the injury.
Yeah.
Wish could have gone out on top, but hey, some years it's not your year, and Illinois State's going to have another game, and they're going to beat UC Davis. I'm just going to say it right now. They're better than UC Davis is. So my question is moving forward, what are the TV ratings going to be for the rest of the postseason? That's the question I have. Because other than, is there a notable team that the average viewer is going to look at and go, yeah, I want to watch that game? I don't think there's that team. There's no Jackson. There's no Bison. I think it may be the lowest TV ratings they're going to have for a couple years here in the FCS.
The Montana State semifinal, if it
that'll
happens,
do it. I did mention those two teams.
That's the one game the rest of the way that will draw fans. Cal Davis and Illinois State's not going to draw people. It's just not.
No.
It's Tarleton State and Villanova. I don't know if I'm even going to watch that game, to be honest. But it's, going back to your recruit thing, I went through the recruiting classes from 20 to 2023. Matt Entz is kind of like prime years of recruiting and not going off of climb and stuff. The offensive line is the one group where I go, some of these names I don't even recognize because they're not here anymore.
Right.
The skill positions he nailed them. Christian Watson wasn't one of his guys, but that's kind of what tailed off of that was the receivers really started to be emphasized. I'm going to talk a little bit about the fans now.
Please do.
So 2011 through 2019 was the prime years of this program's attendance stuff. And we'll put the graph on the screen when we can here. 10,000 fans is unacceptable for a playoff game. It's unacceptable. 10,000 people in an 18,000.
There it is on the screen for you.
Yeah. So 2023 we can kind of cross off just because that was the year
that was great.
Yeah, they had one game.
That was great.
And this is regular season included here, but I don't know what you're doing on a Saturday if you live in Fargo, North Dakota, and you're not going to the Bison. If you're a Bison fan, and you're just saying it's too expensive. It really isn't. I mean, what else are you spending your money on? I'm not going to come after people on money and stuff, but the people like Cole Payton, Bryce Lance, and Logan Kopp deserve to have a huge crowd, especially for them coming back the way they did when they had money offered on the table. I feel for this team, and we've hammered it the last 2 years here with the attendance issues. I mean, how is South Dakota State in the semifinal not 18,900?
Yeah.
I just don't understand. It should be standing room only. And Matt Larson, Polasek, everybody at NDSU Athletics, done everything they can. They've tried everything, and it just has not worked, and it's not their fault. I don't know what to say about it.
I think the things I look at, just kind of going through Twitter a little bit here and there, it's, well, they're not addressing the game day experience enough, which I guess, I could agree with. They haven't, for me, it's like, I was talking with my guy, Blake Engerbretson from Bison Report, because we were sitting next to each other in the press box. I sit next to him like, we got to tell Dudzik to update the intro video, because it's 4 years out of date, which I guess doesn't sound like a big deal, but that just tells me the lack of detail that we're not caring as much about this program, because even the dang intro video is not updated. Because we won a national title last year, and it's not in the intro video. It's from 2022 was the last time that video was updated. So little things like that. But again, Tarleton State's doing something this weekend. Dollar beer, dollar dog. Like, it's a Phillies game, which I get if you gave Bison fans a couple of beers, it's probably not the best idea. That's why you only have alcohol sales for 3/4 at most games.
Yeah.
But I guess what else can they do, I guess, is what I'm trying to figure out. Because the game day experience, you're in a building that Bison fans or citizens of Fargo do not want to renovate the building. So you're stuck with what you have.
Yeah.
So that's not on NDSU. That's on the local taxpayer to get that building renovated. And then the pushback there is, well, why don't they just privately fund the thing? Well, a practice facility is one thing. Trying to get, what, $60, $70 million to renovate a facility that isn't bad need of what Dom calls TLC, I guess, is much needed. But this graph kind of tells me what I need to know right now, is that if the fans don't support it, they're not going to put their signature onto a ballot to renovate the dome. I guess that's the big thing right now.
And there hasn't been a crowd over 17,000 over 18,000 in the playoffs since the 2019 semifinal against Montana State. Trey Lance was playing on that team.
Think about that.
That was a long time ago.
James Madison was in here for a semi. They're in the playoff next weekend, and they did not draw a sellout. And South Dakota State didn't draw a sellout.
Yeah.
Continue.
I want to emphasize something. The fans who are there are awesome. They did a great job.
The people who were there, good job.
Yes, you guys, they care. And what I thought was really cool is after the game, and myself included, we went down on closer to the field and we clapped them off the field. That's what you do. And I was on Twitter last night, and I kind of put out a thing. It's like, one of the coolest moments in this dynasty was 2016 after the JMU loss, when people were chanting, "Let's go Bison," and they were down by 10 with 2 minutes to go.
Yep.
We knew the season was done, but it was just, you got to appreciate these guys. They put in so many hours, and me and you, we bleed green and gold. We appreciate everything that those players give, and we have high expectations. But the team went 12-0 in the regular season, outright Valley champs. Just acknowledge what they accomplished. So, but yeah, again, the fans that are there at every playoff game, you guys do a great job. And Incarnate Word, when there was 10,000 for a semifinal, they were awesome.
That was depressing.
But it was depressing that. Just get in the seats, man. I just don't know what else to say. Going FBS is not. If you're worried about that, support it now, because we don't know how many years we have left here in FCS.
Look, I'm just going to read I posted something similar to you. I didn't get nearly as much viewership. I don't care about the viewership. I'm just going to read what I said. I said, I'm not disappointed with the Bison. 10,464 fans is what is disappointing. It's baffling to me that a C instead of a B is what's keeping people away from the Fargo Dome. It shouldn't matter who the Bison are playing. Bison Nation should support this team no matter who the opponent is. I continued. Since we bang our heads into the FBS wall not going to say the word I said in the middle, every day, let's start by supporting the team in an FBS manner, then worry about the logistics of a move. I don't want to hear FBS talk when a fellow Valley school knocks NDSU out. Our fan base needs to grow up.
They do.
That's what I said, and I still stand by that statement 4 days later.
Yeah.
Like, if you want this team to go to the next level, support it like one. That should be the first thing you should be thinking about. Why is James Madison FBS? Because they support it.
Yes.
Why is Georgia Southern up there? Because they support it. 10,464 fans tells me we don't support it. Or we're bored, which again, we're going to use the bored excuse on everybody. Is that it's boring, it's the same opponents. You're telling me San Jose State's going to sell the building out? Is that what you're telling me? That's what
There's
Dom
no
is.
way.
Again, I love Dom to death, but if that's what he's telling me, that's not going to happen.
Maybe the first year or so.
Maybe.
When
That'll do
yeah.
it. But after that, I have questions about what is this going to be like in 10 years when you're not competing for a playoff spot, but you're going to play Air Force, UNLV. Is that going to be the same as when the Jacks come in here? I don't think so. It's just not.
In 2000, put a year out there.
Yeah, go ahead.
2035. How many times is UTEP going to be coming to the Fargo Dome? Like 5 times if they were FBS right now.
If that.
Yeah, like, is that really going to sell out the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth time? No.
Is that going to sell out the top row of the dome?
No,
I don't think so.
It's not. Me and you, I think we're in a different tier of Bison fan. We bleed green and gold. We think about Bison football in the months of May and June. We're not like other fans. But the thing is that when it's football season and people are into Bison football, just come to the games. It's just I just don't understand it.
But we're willing to take the glasses off, the rose-tinted glasses off, and say, hey, you know what? They're not going to win a title every year.
No,
and
they're
that's
not.
okay.
And I could not accept that when I was 11 years old and they lost to JMU.
Right, I was bawling my eyes
Yeah.
out. Same with you. But you know what? You grow up and you live and you learn. And what we've learned is that, you know what? Everybody else is good too.
Yep.
It's not just the Bison that are good, that are dominant. It's fun being the dominant big bad goalie all the time. But you know what? Sometimes we're not passing the torch off, but for 1 year, you know what? If you're Illinois State, go win a national title.
Yeah.
You guys deserve
We're cheering
more.
for you, honestly.
I am. If anybody's going to win the title, let it be Illinois State.
Yeah.
Brock Spack is one of the best guys in
Yeah,
FCS college football. Best mustache in college football. Better than Tim Plows. Go beat Tim Plows so you can at least have that to hang your hat on. But it's just frustrating with our fan base.
It sucks that we're 20 minutes into this and we're talking about the fans and not the performance from the
product,
team.
right.
Because that's how bad it is. It's the fans are the main issue right now, and I don't know how you can fix it at this point. We're 5 years past COVID. COVID is not an excuse anymore. It was for the first year or two. It's not anymore. This is a fan issue.
And if it's ticket sales, it costs too much or all that stuff. If you support the program, you're going to shell out the money to watch the program.
Yes.
I don't care. WDY gets great TV ratings. I'm a part of that broadcast group. Part of my paycheck goes into that. I get it. But that doesn't mean I don't want you to. I want you to be in the building. Being in the building, watching a game in the stands is always better than watching it on television. The experience is what matters. And it's also student section. We're in the student union here. That's where we filmed this show from. We got to be there too.
Yeah.
Not just the people who are in their 60s and die. Remember when Jeff Bencham was the quarterback? He was awesome, and they're still coming. Like I remember watching. Like we talk on the field before games, both of us, and there was. I'm not going to point out anybody specifically, but it's the group of people that have those seats in those first 5 rows.
Yes.
I'm not going to point out anybody specifically, but these people who walk down the stairs slower and slower every year.
Yep.
There are fewer and fewer of those people every year. And those are the people that care about this program like we do.
Yeah.
And there are fewer of those every year. And the amount of blue seats are going to keep growing and growing and growing until something gets done. Is it FBS? Maybe.
Yeah.
But I did, and we're hearing all from that podcast about, oh, there's smoke, they're going to be there. I think they're doing that to get views. I don't think they're doing that because they have concrete evidence that we can tell Colonel Jessup about. Did you order the code red? Did you order that the Bison are going to the Mountain West? You don't know that. You don't.
No.
And it's infuriating. You never know when this program when the dynasty run is over. Is the dynasty run over? No. They're going to be back next year, and they're probably going to win it next year.
I think so too.
A loss like this rejuvenates a program.
Yep.
I hope this is a kick in the pants to not only our fan base, but to the program.
Yes.
That, you know what? As Michael Tutsi said, we can't roll the helmets out and expect to win a national title. Because as Mike McFeely said, FCS is boring. Well, it turns out
Clearly
the
it's
team
not.
that was boring just beat NDSU at home.
Yeah.
So enough. All right? Enough.
And
FCS is still fun to play
Yeah.
in, and they're forced to be there because they're too good to move up. So, sorry. Should we talk about Tyler Roll now? Anyways, Tyler Roll. So Jimmy Rogers is the head coach now at Iowa State.
Yep.
So he implodes the Jackrabbit program, goes to Pullman for 11 months, then goes to Iowa State, and take some of the Washington State recruits to Iowa State. Does that make any sense? Doesn't make sense to me. So he's going there. So just the last couple of years for Tyler. OC in 23 at North Dakota State, goes to Tennessee State for a cup of coffee and a donut, and then heads to Iowa State where he was the running back, fullback coach. And then he went to the Lions this year to be the tight ends coach, and now he's coming back to Iowa State to be the offensive coordinator. I don't know what his ultimate goal is in coaching.
Yeah.
But to me, it feels like he wants to be the head coach at NDSU, and he's trying to get the plot points to say, okay, I got this, I got this, I got this. So when Polasek leaves in 2 to 5 years, give or take, it's Gio or Tyler Roll. And right now, with the resume, I go Tyler Roll.
Yeah, speaking of Jimmy Rogers, isn't it insane that 11 months ago he was coaching here and they lost? It feels like a lifetime ago with what's happened. But back to Tyler Roll, it kind of feels like he's going the Tim Polasek route. Like he's not going to these huge institutions. Obviously the Lions is because it's an NFL team. But, Polasek went to Northern Illinois, and then he was at Iowa and Wyoming. I can't remember what order, but anyway, he was at those places. If you want to be a head coach at a place like NDSU, you got to go other places. Grant Olson, I don't know if, I hope don't have to worry about this for a while because I hope Polasek's here forever, but Tyler Roll, it's pretty clear that what he wants to be, and he wants to be the head coach here. And I think it's going to happen at some point. I would not have said that 2 years ago when he was the OC because he didn't have experience anywhere else, and it's the same goes for Grant Olson.
Recruiting news, there was some late recruits we were talking about. I don't know if this was the recruit that Tim was keeping the phone on him at the press conference for, but Braden Tolliver, 5'10", running back out of Erie High School in Colorado. They flipped him from Oregon State to come here. He'll be here in January. And again, same thing with the running back last week. If I butcher your name, I am so sorry. Jaden Uunga, 6'5". He's a 6'5", 200-pound kicker at a Forest Lake High School in Minnesota. Are you sure it's not linebacker? I'm looking for that word. No, kicker.
Hey.
Kicker out of Forest Lake High School.
I'm just saying, fake field goals with this dude would be hilarious. That would be awesome.
That'd be good stuff. But so the recruiting class now is 21 with 2 running backs, still no quarterbacks, and a kicker. Because Eli Ozek's not going to be here forever. Please stay as long as you can. Yeah, we love you, Eli. Stay here.
I wish you would have gotten a chance, man, to kick like a 60-yarder at the buzzer. That would have been awesome. But
10,000 people would have gone 8.
Oh, man.
If he would have made that.
Yeah.
So the Bison have not had anybody go into the portal yet. Now, apparently, Toby and Nene has gotten offers, and who was the other person you're talking about?
Bo Johnson.
Bo Johnson have been in the portal, but they're not in the portal as of yet, but 6 players are.
Yeah, so UND kind of got gutted. I'll just use that word.
No.
Sawyer Seidel, all-conference running back, leading rusher. If you don't know him and you watch FCS football.
His brother attends the University of Minnesota, so he may be a gopher in the coming weeks.
I would be shocked if he's not Power 4. He is elite. So they lost their leading receiver, B.J. Fleming. Bison saw a ton of him. Kaminsky was thrown his way left and right. He's a good player. And he came in as a transfer, I believe. So this
Northern Arizona.
Yeah, a little surprising. But he's got 1 year left. Sawyer Seidel has 2 years left. And arguably their best defensive back, Antonio Blewett. He's a first-team All-Valley guy.
Well, Antonio Blewett blew out his knee.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the pun, but he had an air cast out his knee against UND and didn't come back this year. So we'll see who his suitors are because he's coming off a major knee injury. That's going to be a tough one.
He's got 2 years left. So
we'll see.
Yeah, I kind of feel like you should go back to UND and then build your stock for the last year if you're doing that. But anyway, UND got gutted a little bit. Jalen Lee, he was all-conference member from South Dakota State. He's a safety. He led the team in interceptions. He's got 1 year left. We'll see what his market is. And then Jaden Craig, Harvard, all-time passer. He's going to try to chase the money with 1 year left. And then
good luck with that.
Yeah, backup tight end David Alpers. Not a whole lot about him, but he played a lot, second-string tight end. He's got 2 years left, and kind of hearing he's going to be a Division II.
There may be some NSIC offers for him, which is not bad.
No.
Division II, that's pretty good.
He'll probably dominate there.
And then there was some late coaching news from the FCS. There's also an FBS move as well. Mercer head coach Mike Jacobs, 6th seed for Mercer this year, lost to South Dakota. We'll talk about that in a second. He's off to Toledo to take that job. And then Sharon Moore got fired at Michigan for reasons.
Yeah, we won't say.
Let's go leave it there. Again, the FCS, we'll just go through it quickly. Again, you already know about the Bison, Illinois State.
Yeah.
UC Davis, kind of a ho-hum performance against Rhode Island.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the game. I don't think you did either.
I did not either.
So you got unseeded against seeded there, and then Tarleton, they handle UND, and then Nova beats Lehigh. Lehigh's overrated to begin with, but 14-7 win there. Other side of the bracket, we'll go that quickly. I don't think any of these results were surprising. ACU and Stephen F. Austin played a close one, as we expected. Montana State, Julius Davis had more fight after the game than he did during the game, apparently, with Brent Vegan and the Yale players. Good showing by Yale. Way to go, Yale. I give them all sorts of credit for that. South Dakota State scores a 95-yard touchdown early in the game, but only get 22 points after that, so they fall flat on their face in Missoula. And Peach and Cream may be leaving Brookings, so we're happy about that. And then Mercer, what was that?
Yeah.
We were watching that before the game, before the Bison game. We're like, holy crap! It's a boat race out there in Macon, Georgia. 47 donut in favor of South Dakota. So your quarterfinal games. I mean, you got USD and Montana, Stephen F. Austin and Montana State. We got Davis and Illinois State. I mean, and Montana State against Stephen F. Austin. Montana Stephen F. Austin. Yeah. So interesting, is what I'm going to say. And then Villanova and Tarleton. I'm sorry, it's a game I forgot, but. This is one of the more bizarre Final 8 that I can remember. Again, no Bison, no Jacks. We're probably going to have one of the lowest rated playoff runs on ESPN's family of networks for the rest of the year. Good for FCS? Yes. Good for television? Hell no. But we'll see.
It's gives me like 2020 spring vibes. Yeah. It's just a weird situation.
But at least in that, there was Sammy, JMU, South Dakota State. I think Delaware was the fourth team.
Yeah.
So these were 4 notable big names in FCS. I think the biggest name were the Montana schools, and after that, it's South Dakota. So,
and
we'll see.
As much as I used this saying a few weeks ago. As much as things change, they remain the same.
Yeah.
We were in August. We were saying USD, watch out. This could be the Bison's contender in Nashville. Well, they're the only Dakota team left, and they've been dominant the last 2 months. So I don't think they're going to win in Missoula. I don't think anyone's beating Montana State now the rest of the way. This Illinois State side of the bracket's there's just not going to be a team that comes out of there that's going to beat Montana State. I don't think so. I'll watch the title game, but it's going to be a little depressing.
Yeah. Our hot takes have been bad. Yeah. They've been cold the last couple of weeks. You got the takes. So the ones that were wrong anyway.
Yeah, preseason I said Bison have 2 1,000-yard rushers. Now I looked at this before the playoffs started. This was going to happen if the Bison went deep. It just was. They were 200 yards off each. Jackson Williams scores 10-plus touchdowns. This one was a huge, Hail Mary shot. He only had 4, I think, but maybe I'll use this next year. I don't know.
Maybe you should.
Eli Ozick could have broken the record for 56 yards if we
got to half court. We had a shot.
We had a shot, but and then of course a week after I said Bo Brungar was going to be on an FBS roster. So Youngstown's going to be a threat next year, I guess. So. And then I said NDSU would win all 3 of their preliminary round games by 10-plus points, and they didn't win one of them. So
yeah, I don't want to talk about my takes last week. They were really bad. I got to stop doing some of these things. Bison scored 30-plus. Well, they got to 28, so that's close.
You should have been right.
Illinois State under 16, they had almost more than that at halftime. So whoops. Sobakowitz had 8 catches instead of 5. I got to stop the Cole Payton accounts for more than a couple of touchdowns because it never works. So I won't curse Nathan Hayes with that, I guess. Attendance. It was a hope and a prayer to begin with. I said 15,000. We've already beat it to death. Yeah. 10,000 is just flat out embarrassing.
You shouldn't have to have a hot take about attendance. That's how bad it's been.
I shouldn't.
But you have to.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Ones you got correct, though.
So in week 10, I said the Jacks would not reach the semifinals. Well, that
was to be expected.
Yeah. And the Valley, the Valley would only have 2 teams to reach the quarterfinals. Not the teams I expected, but yeah, I was right.
Yep.
Abilene Christian reaching the quarterfinals. I thought they'd beat Stephen F. Austin a second time. Did not happen. This kind of a weird one here. I thought Nathan Hayes would appear in 75% of NDSU's playoff games, or at least 75%.
He appeared in the only one they played.
Yeah,
so,
and if they would have won, he would have played in the rest of the way too, because Cole Payton's done. So, I'm 34% on the hot take so far, and you're sitting at 32. So neither of us are doing too hot.
No, let's see what you got this week for the season finale.
Yeah, I got the Missouri Valley will not be represented in the FCS title game. Basically, the only way this happens is if Illinois State goes on a hero run.
Which they could.
Yeah, I don't think USD can win.
USD's not going into Missoula.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's just not happening.
And they're not going to Bozeman and winning because they couldn't do that last year, so not happening. I got Tarleton is going to reach the FCS title game. They're the best team on that side of the bracket. I could see Illinois State winning, but I don't know a ton about Tarleton, so I guess it makes it a hot take.
We'll see.
This is my slam dunk pick. I got to have at least one of them. Montana State's winning the title. It's Brent Vegan's year. We thought it was last year.
This year.
it's this year. It's like if the Bills would have not matched up with the Chiefs one time, they would have finally got that chance.
Yeah.
And this is how it is this year. And then I got USD and Montana will combine for 70-plus points on Saturday. Montana puts up a 50-burger on the Jacks. They could easily do that to the Yotes. USD, surprisingly, has turned into an offensive showcase all of a sudden. I don't know what's happening because they almost lost to Indiana State earlier in the year. But anyway, and then to positive Ethan coming on the show here, I'm going to go with the Bison are getting back on top next year, and they're going to win the national championship. I just think this gives me 2017 vibes. The fuel is going to be there. As long as the portal doesn't hit them too hard, I think Polasek's going to be fired up, and this team's going to be back.
They have a reason to be pushed next year.
Yes.
I think that's what we're looking at, because do they really have anything to be pushed by this year? Nah, not really. They were the defending champion. The Jacks got gutted. South Dakota got gutted. UND is on its way up. You beat them anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't a lot for them to look forward to this year.
Yeah.
Now, we go into this year.
Oh, man.
The next year, all 3 Dakota schools are back on the schedule. You go back to the Alaris next year. The Illinois State game is a Harvest Bowl home game.
Circle that game.
Circle that thing. I want a sold-out student section at the very least.
Yes.
Please show up for that game, for God's sakes.
The schedule next year is so
And
favorable.
they go to Samba at night. It's going to be a night game on Halloween.
Yeah.
Let's just assume it's a night game on Halloween at the Ice Castle, not the Ice Palace, for God's sakes, ESPN+. So they're not doing any favor. And their non-con is not great. I mean, they go to Incarnate Word. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. They play
Central
at
Arkansas.
Central Arkansas. They play ETSU at home.
Yep.
And then Austin P is the other home game.
Yes.
So mixed bag. I'd say they'll
Yeah.
probably be 4-0 in non-con, but
The conference schedule is favorable at home. You have to.
Yeah.
You got to show up. I mean, the Jacks at
and
home.
the Jacks are at home.
Yeah.
So that's the big one as
And
well.
it's mid-October. That'll be a sellout. Mid-October is the prime time for attendance. We're sitting here on December 10th, and I'm just so excited for next year just because
Yeah.
of the fuel I have right now. And I'm not even on the team, and I'm just
No.
motivated. I'm excited for next year.
Well, if the Bison are in it, there's still an FBS playoff that we can talk about.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going first, right?
Yep.
So we're going to pick the entire bracket. I'll keep this quick if I can. I'm going to go, this is going to be surprising. Real shocker here. I'm not picking JMU to win. I'm going to go with the Ducks by 1,000,000. I'm going to take Alabama to beat Oklahoma. OU's got a good defense.
Yeah.
Alabama's been sliding a little bit. It's a coin flip game. I'm just gonna pick Alabama. I feel better about Alabama. We're picking Ole Miss. Do I have to explain myself? I shouldn't have to. I'm gonna pick A&M to beat Miami. I don't think Miami's okay, but they should have gotten in over Notre Dame. But they shouldn't. We can say it for once we're done about the review and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna go with A&M and feel good about it. I'm going to take Oregon to beat Texas Tech. I haven't seen a ton of Texas Tech. Go Cole Wisniewski. I'm happy he's still playing football and he's still living life good down there in Lubbock. But I like Oregon will overturn Texas Tech. I'm taking Indiana over Alabama. Can't believe I said that. Indiana
Wow.
beat Alabama in football.
You got to
That's
pinch yourself.
2025, I guess so. We're taking Georgia over Ole Miss. Ole Miss doesn't have a coaching staff. I mean, thanks, Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take Ohio State to beat A&M. A&M, I like A&M. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to take Ohio State. I'm taking Oregon over Indiana. Indiana's not winning this thing. I think they're very good. Don't get me wrong. I think Indiana is a very good program. What Signetti's done is nothing short of miraculous.
Yeah.
But I think the Ducks are going to get them. Indiana went to Autzen and beat them. But I believe in Oregon. And I think Ohio State beats Georgia. I think this is a great matchup.
Yeah.
It's like what it was 4 years ago when they played each other before the clock struck midnight. And Jaden Fielding missed a field goal to lose a game.
It was in the 22 semis. Yeah.
I think I've heard this before. Oh, wait, it happened last week.
Yep.
And then I'm going to pick Ohio State to beat Oregon in the national title. I like Ohio State and Oregon are two of my, if I'm not a Bison fan, I got to pick other schools to root for. I pick Ohio State, Oregon, and Miami. I like those three schools. I'm going to pick Ohio State to win it.
Yeah, so Oregon and for my picks, Oregon and JMU. I wonder. Yeah, I'll take Oregon.
Thank you.
Alabama and Oklahoma. This is going to be a very ugly game. Alabama's offense has been terrible lately. Oklahoma has a good defense. I'll take Alabama by a 13-10 score, something like that. Very ugly game. Ole Miss is beating Tulane. Lane Kiffin, whatever. Miami and A&M. This is most intriguing first-round matchup. I'm going to take Miami. I think they win the war in the trenches. I'm going to say Marty Brown has a big day.
Why do you think that JMU and Oregon was the night game and not Miami and A&M. That seems like a missed opportunity for television.
And this is at 11 a.m.
Yeah, I don't get that.
The people on the the
Maybe
West
to
Coast.
make the East Coast team come all the way to Texas for the game.
I don't understand. JMU and Oregon should be at 11 a.m. if anything. That's a missed opportunity by ESPN. But Oregon and Texas Tech would be a fantastic game. I like Cole Wisniewski, but I got to take Oregon. Oregon's gonna have momentum from that JMU game. Alabama, Indiana. I have no confidence in Alabama whatsoever. Indiana's rolling.
Again, Indiana beat
I know.
Alabama.
You got to pinch yourself when you say that. It's crazy.
Okay.
But Georgia and Ole Miss, same situation. I mean, Lane Kiffin's not there, and I don't think they're that great to start with, to be honest. Georgia wins big, I think. Miami, Ohio State. Fantastic quarterfinal matchup. I think the war in the trenches would be all time. I just think Ohio State's skilled position guys are just too good, and their defense is unbelievable. I think they win this one. Semifinal, Indiana, Oregon, rematch from, I think, October that game came. I want to pick Oregon. Indiana, there's something about Indiana right now. I think they win this one. They get to the national title game. Again, Indiana in the national championship.
Indiana beat Oregon. They were in something that's not basketball.
It's crazy. Ohio State, Georgia, fantastic. Again, like you mentioned, that 22 semifinal game. This would be an absolute war. Georgia's offense has been weird lately.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. I just don't.
Gunnar Stockton.
He's
a mixed bag with him.
He's like Derek Carr. He'll be
True.
super good
That's
for a
actually
while.
really accurate.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And he's probably going to get himself killed running. But I'll take Ohio State. And a rematch in the Big Ten title game. Ohio State feeds off of motivation. They just have the last 2 years, and I think they win this game. And I think they win it all this year. I just go back to back.
Well, there you go. So, again, we're available to be consulted if need be on that. So, we don't have it written down, but just the way that people are talking about the 12-team playoff now, Notre Dame got screwed. No, they didn't get screwed. Why Notre Dame got screwed is not their fault. It's because the committee was hell-bent determined to keep Notre Dame above Miami until the final release of the rankings. That didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And also, should the Group of Five be in this playoff? No. They shouldn't be. But
give them their own playoff.
No, what we were talking about with my 2014 model last week, everybody's happy that way.
Yeah,
Everybody gets in. So I get it. You got to cover your ears and you want to vomit when you hear that Jacksonville State and Kennesaw State are competing for a shot in the college football playoff. But guess what? That's the way it is on our level.
Yep, it is.
Guess what? Yale gets in. You know, the champion of the Pioneer League gets in. As bad as the Big South OVC was, they get a team in. It's happened to be Tennessee Tech who got bulldozed. But anyways, everybody gets in. That's the thing, is that I get you have to the pie has to be cut 24 different ways and you have to do all those certain things. I get that may seem like a head scratcher and we can't do that the money doesn't work. Yeah, it does. You can make the money work. It's that you're getting into bed with the bowl games, and you just don't know, because have they got that bowl game finished yet with Georgia? Who's going to play Georgia Southern? I don't think they have that game figured out yet.
Bowl games are dead.
They're done. They're dumb.
Let's be honest.
Conference championship games are dumb. Bowl games are dumb. That's why we don't play them in the FCS. We would play them anyway. They're dumb. 24 teams gets everybody in.
Yeah.
I get it. But again, we went through it a couple weeks ago. Half the field was still Big Ten SEC teams.
Yeah. It's the teams that everybody right now wants to see Vanderbilt in, and this would get them in.
Texas would get in.
Yeah.
So we can stop talking about Texas. Oh, they got screwed. Well, okay, don't lose to
Billy Napier.
Yeah,
you lost to Billy Napier.
They lost to Florida. That's why they're not in the playoff.
And the main argument I keep hearing is that this would take away from the Michigan-Ohio State type of games, like the rivalry. The Bison and the Jacks every year are playing for the 1 and 2 seed. Look at last year. If the Bison lose that game, they're going to Brookings and they're not winning. If they won in the Fargo Dome, they won again in the Fargo Dome. Michigan and Ohio State, if they're on the same level, if they were 2 and 3 like they usually are, last 2 years,
they're
you can
both
scratch.
getting in. They'll see each other again down the line.
They'll see, and the television ratings. That's what everyone cares about.
Fantastic.
Oh my gosh! Can you imagine Oregon hosting Michigan in the quarterfinals for a trip to Austin?
In our model, the first round would suck. Okay, well, let's just be honest.
But it does at the FCS level too.
Right, exactly. But you'd see Kennesaw, Western Michigan. You'd see a lot of bad.
Yeah.
I understand that's the pushback, and I fully admit that that's not the best way, the way we go about it. But again, that's what we see at the FCS level. We see Drake get killed. We see Harvard get murdered. We see that kind of stuff. But everybody's happy. And guess what? The same teams are usually the ones that are playing at the end of the day. 9 times out of 10, this is a rarity year where we don't see the Bison or the Jacks, where you're going to see, again, Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State, Texas Tech. You're going to see the same Georgia. You're going to see the same schools in it every single year. So I don't like hearing the complaining because you know what? If you just adopted, more teams, if you adopted more teams, Indiana doesn't need to sign a BS, or Notre Dame doesn't need to sign a BS agreement that if they're in the top 12, they automatically get in like it's a get out of jail free card for not playing a good schedule.
Join a conference.
Well, they're not doing that.
No.
Like, I hear that argument, and I'm just like, they're never going to do it, so stop talking about it. Or you could play better out of conference games, or you should just try to play a conference other than the ACC.
Yeah, it's
because
simple.
the ACC is the worst Power 4 conference, and you want to play it every year. So that's my problem, is that if you want to get in, okay, don't lose to Miami. Don't fumble an extra point against Texas A&M.
Yeah.
If they don't fumble the extra point against A&M, they're in.
They go to overtime, they probably win. And the Miami game, they had plenty of chances. And yeah, you're totally right. You either got to schedule more huge games so that you probably win one of them, or just don't schedule anybody like Indiana. Indiana didn't play anybody.
Yeah, because like once every 20 years they play Ohio State, it seems.
Yeah.
They schedule home and home with Ohio State. Do it every year.
Yep.
Because then you know what? That's a data point we can go back to is, oh, you beat Ohio State, or you lost like on the last play of the game they did a couple of years ago.
I want people to, once you're done watching us, go to Alabama schedules the year that Nick Saban was the coach there.
They were great.
They were unbelievable. And guess what? Part of those years, 2 teams got in, and it was a 1-game thing. They took pride in playing those games.
Yeah.
If the Bison moved up, I would want them to play huge opponents all the time. I don't want them playing Kennesaw State non-conference game. No, that'd be cool because we never got to play them in the playoffs.
Well, because they had a chance
choked.
twice, and they lost both times.
But the point being, it's like, we don't want to take away from, like, Ohio State and Texas playing was so awesome. They play in Austin in August next year. Who doesn't want to watch that?
Correct.
Let's figure this out.
Yeah. We do have to talk about the rest of the quarterfinal games quickly. Montana State's a 10.5-point favorite against Stephen F. Austin. I got them to win. You do as well.
Yeah.
Montana over South Dakota. Montana's a 6.5-point favorite. I want to take them minus 6.5. They're better than South Dakota is.
Yeah.
You agree?
I agree.
Tarleton, Villanova. It's the easiest pick of the whole weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Give me Tarleton. Give
Should
me
be at 18.5.
Villanova's not that good. I mean, come on. And then UC Davis, Illinois State. Give me the Redbirds. I mean, the fact that Davis is favored is strictly because they're at home. Home team gets 3 points. They're only a 2.5-point favorite. Illinois State all day.
Brock's back to the title game, man.
Please.
Give it to me. You know what? I didn't know a lot about him until the last couple of years when the Bison finally started playing him again. He seems like an awesome coach.
He is.
He's a fun guy to play for, but I'm glad.
Like Jaden Cohn, you go have your moment.
Yeah.
You guys deserve one. We've been talking with them all season long. Go win one.
Nice fan base.
All right. There's always the one fan who wants to ask us questions. Please do so, by the way. We love them.
Yeah.
Did the coach's contract leave Burrows 2018? Did the coach's contract leave the team? It's a multi-part question. Did the coach's contract leave the team unprepared? Was Cole hurt prior to the game? If so, why not put Hayes in earlier? And why not have heavy personnel sets to help with protection? The coach, I mean, you could make a case there. I mean, I'm not saying they were distracted by it, but they were listening during the bye week. Is that they were unsure if he was going to stay or not. And when he walked back into the training facility, they were happy and they were excited and they were so happy to see that he was staying. So maybe not. I don't think so as much.
My pushback on this, they started up 14-0 and they got a pick and they almost went up 21 rip. Abilene Christian last year, I would say they were unprepared because they went down 17-3 right away.
Yeah.
This year, not a chance.
Was Cole hurt prior to the game? I don't know that. I don't think any of us know. It never leaked in the media if he was hurt or not. Remember, he tweaked his knee against St. Thomas. I don't know if that lingered or not. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So put Hayes in earlier. They didn't put him in. They only put him in because he broke his thumb. That's why. He came out. I think. Again, you don't want to disclose injuries in the postseason. This isn't a Chase Mason and the South Dakota State situation. That's a totally different deal. Yeah. But I don't think he was hurt, not that we know of. If he was, maybe it was a bone bruise on the knee. Who knows? But we'll never know.
Look, everybody this time of year is dinged up a little bit. I think there was something, I don't know, maybe there had to have been something because there's no way they wouldn't have had more designed runs. Right. It wasn't a huge injury. It might have been Easton Stick back spasms back in the day in his sophomore year. Yeah. The Hayes thing, I think back to the Missouri State game in 21 when they put Cam in. We still didn't know if Cam was going to be the starter going forward, just to get a fresh body out there, just to see what he can do. I wouldn't have been totally against that if Hayes would have gone in the fourth quarter maybe. But, yeah, I don't know if Illinois State just beat him.
Yeah. Why not do some heavy personnel sets? It's a great question. I don't know how we can answer it. Maybe you put some more guys in the line of scrimmage, but again, they were stacking the box. And the thing with Illinois State that we never talked about, Shabon Takuba, great defensive back. I mean, the one play that they went for the touchdown, I don't think Takuba was on it, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think Takuba was on Bryce in that play. And they were playing zone, and the corner thought he had safety help. That happens. I mean, they got burned on first play of the game. So I think the question I would ask is, did they get complacent after that first play? I think Jax Williams said, we're going to win this game. We're up 14-0. We got this. I think that's the way they talked about it. And that's what I said in the press conference. And, it came back to bite them. Are they going to have that kind of way of doing things next year? No. I think they're going to take every game and say, hey, we're not done.
No.
My dad always said in baseball, how many runs do you need? It's always more. More was always the correct answer. So I think maybe they just come with a different mindset. Personnel definitely probably could have helped. I think not running the same pistol handoff play probably wouldn't have worked because they did that a lot this year. I guess that kind of shocked me because it was always under center. It was always A-gap power. Now, again, you have to adapt with the times. I understand all that. But it was the same run play. It was never anything different. There wasn't a lot of trickery. They didn't use Jackson Williams. I think they were saving some stuff.
Yeah.
And they've done that in the past. They've always seemed to do that in the second round. They don't want to use every play they have in the
And you have to do that if you're going to try to win it.
Right. Because they're thinking, we're going to play Montana State again.
Yeah.
So I understand all of those reasons, but who knows?
The one thing I'll say about the personnel stuff, I think it was more the fact, I would have liked to see him roll out.
Yeah.
Not right away.
It's just
pressure, it's when we get here deep into the third quarter, it's like, okay, this stuff isn't working. We got to go win the game here. Let's roll them out or something. You can't just. It kind of felt a little stubborn. We're sticking to this and we're not going away from it. And I hate to be the play call guy, going on the OC,
I don't want to be that guy either, right?
You know what? It was just there were some plays that were there to be made and they just weren't. It wasn't all play calling, so.
Well, what we're going to talk about more of is more Bison basketball because that's the next hot sport that's in season. So what's to come? Men's basketball. 2 good wins. They beat Montana on the road, 81-72. Montana was the preseason pick to win the Big Skies. That's a great win for them. And then they defeated Northern Arizona, again, the same night as the playoff loss, 69-68. Not the best performance by the Bison men, but they do this sometimes, and they were able to hold on. And, again, anytime you can beat a Big Sky school, you take it and you're right with it.
Yeah, and it feels like this has been kind of a theme last 2 years where they go 8 minutes without scoring.
But then somehow else to win the game.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
But the thing about this team that makes them different is that the defense makes up for it. Last year, they couldn't stop people, and when they had those cold streaks, they were done. This year, that's not going to happen.
Women's basketball, again, you got to watch this team, man.
Yeah.
Summer League Big Sky Challenge, they went 2-0. They knocked off Montana State, was number 70, I want to say, in the net rankings, which again is every Division I college basketball school.
Yeah.
The Bison have jumped up, I think, into the 40s because it's only the Jackrabbits are above them there, and they're now 23 in the mid-major poll. Only South Dakota and South Dakota State are higher in that poll because South Dakota, I think they're still undefeated.
Yeah,
they might be, I don't know, but they beat them by 25. Now, they had 20-plus turnovers, but again, that's because Montana State presses the living hell out of you, and you can't hardly do anything with the basketball. So winning by 25, kudos to Jory Collins. That's a good win. Then they go on the road and defeat Weber State, 79-72. Weber's not great, but again, time difference. You got to travel to Ogden, Utah, different place to play.
Yeah.
The fact they got out of those with 2 good wins, they're doing something right. Jory has this team playing really well.
I tell you what, I wouldn't take it for granted how long Jory Collins is here because that could be a guy that's going to a Power 4 job here in the next 2 to 3 years. This program, 10 years ago, I barely ever went to women's games. I went to men's games. The women's program here
was a joke. It was a joke before Jory got here. It was awful.
And Jory, the way they're a contender in the Summit League now. You just said it. They're a top 50 program right now. You got to enjoy this team while you got it.
Yeah. Couple last things here. Make sure you join us for our Season 7 premiere of the Bison Overtime Show on Wednesday, January 14th at 5 p.m. We'll be live on YouTube. We're going to introduce a new segment called King of the Court with 3-time EDC champion Peter Havelka from Davies High School to break down the Bison basketball team, as well as some other topics we want to cover with him as the semester goes on. Each week we're going to cover the updated Summit League basketball standings. We can look at the teams. We'll do that segment with Peter. We'll do some more Q&As if we can. If you got any more questions for us, please send them our way, DM, through posts, whatever. We're going to do we did this last year, our NDSU football season awards. So MVP, Players of the Year, Newcomer of the Year, players to watch out for, things like that. top 50 NDSU players, just some ideas. We've been having some NDSU players of the D1 era, probably D2 to keep you all happy. We'll get some D2s as well. The top 10 teams of the Frisco era, so 2010 to 2024. Spoiler, a lot of Bison teams are going to be on that list. Probably some Jackrabbit teams will be in there as well. And our final show of the spring semester, we'll do our full 2026 Bison football preview. So please watch that when we get to May.
Yep.
Also, watch our 2 cents of Charlotte and Hallie. New episode coming soon. I think they're taping theirs tomorrow. But the football season may be over, but there's plenty to look forward to this spring at Bison Overtime. Thank you for watching this semester. Season 6 was an absolute blast. We can't wait to be back for Season 7. Horns up and go Bison. We'll see you January 14th. Have a great winter break, everybody.